Hey everyone, Dan Vuksanovich here at whyisuckatguitar.com, and today's lesson is called I Suck at Guitar because I have the rhythm of the average wedding dance floor participant. We've all seen them on wedding dance floors, people dancing to some beat that none of us can hear because it's certainly not the beat of the song that's playing. Now take that dance floor image and apply it to guitar, and that's about how I used to sound. Many guitarists unfortunately have this problem as well, and today we're going to talk about how to fix it. Now there are two main causes, I think, for why guitarists in particular have rhythmic deficiencies on the whole. The first is that we spend a lot of time practicing and playing by ourselves with no other instruments to keep us rhythmically honest. Now think about a horn player, for example, and the kinds of ensembles that horn players are usually in. There are usually multiple horns playing the same line, and there's usually some rhythmic intricacy of the line. So if one horn player gets rhythmically off, everybody's going to know about it. Guitarists usually don't have that when they practice and play. Second reason, I believe, is that many guitarists focus way too much on lead playing, not enough on rhythm playing. Now the interesting thing here is that by focusing on rhythm and rhythm playing, you can make your leads a lot better because forward motion rhythmically helps when you're playing leads as well. So a little bit about what rhythm is. Rhythm is the division of music into units of time. So if melody and harmony are about what notes to play, rhythm is about when to play the notes. Rhythm is a core element of forward motion in music. Without solid rhythm, music typically stagnates. The one thing that you need to know in this lesson, and what we're going to cover in a minute, is if you can't hear it, you can't play it. So in other words, unless I can hear the rhythm in my head, there is no way that my fingers are going to be able to play that rhythm on the guitar. So let's talk a little bit about how to diagnose rhythmic problems. The first step is to put down the guitar, because what we need to do right now is train our ear, not train our fingers. If our ear doesn't know what's going on, as we already discussed, forget about it, our fingers aren't going to be able to play it. So once you put down the guitar, or at least stopped playing it for the minute, we need to figure out how to count out the rhythm. And this really has two parts. Number one, determine the rhythmic structure. And if we're playing rock and roll 99% of the time, probably greater than 99% of the time, this is going to be 4 beats per measure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, over and over and over again. And then within that rhythmic structure, where do the notes occur? Do they occur on the beats? If so, which beat? 1, 3, 2? Do they occur between the beats? Do they occur on the and that comes between 1 and 2? Do they occur on the and that comes between 4 and 1? Where are the notes from a timing standpoint? And once we start to get an idea of what the structure is and where the notes are within that structure, what we want to do is be able to verbalize the rhythm, still without the guitar. We want to be able to say the rhythm. Slowly at first, because we want to make sure we get the rhythm right before we increase the tempo. And then once we get the rhythm right, we can slowly build up the tempo so that we get to the tempo of the song, that we can say the rhythm along with that beat. Once that's done, we can pick the guitar back up again and see if we can play it. And I say see if we can play it, but in the vast majority of cases, once you can hear the rhythm and say the rhythm, you pick the guitar back up and it's going to be like night and day. You will be able to play that part in most cases. Okay, so let's do a really simple example of what I just talked about. First, I'll play you the rhythm. Now, that's pretty simple. But there is a little bit going on there that is not just 1, 2, 3, 4, not playing all on the beats. So if we get to the point where we're putting the guitar down, we're going to count this out. Let me first, I'll play the drums through again. Obviously, this is a rock beat, so we're in 4/4. In most cases, we probably won't have to count out the 4 because we'll know, but in some cases we might. So let me put this back on and I'll count out the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's that. But as I said, I'm not playing on 1, 2, 3, and 4. What I'm doing is I'm playing the downbeat on the first measure, which is 1, and then everything after that is the and of 3, so 3 and then the and of 4, 4 and. So what I'm really playing is this. 1, and, So now I know where my notes need to be played. I know where my beats are. I can get a beat going, and I have a drum machine, but you can do this with a metronome too. And I can say when the notes are played against that beat, and I can do it very easily. So once I've got that, I'm going to pick the guitar back up. I'm going to play it again. So there you have it. Some possible root causes of rhythmic deficiency. We've already covered the most likely one, and that is you just can't hear it. And in that case, we've talked about how to fix it. Just put the guitar down, spend some time listening, spend some time figuring out what the rhythm is. Once you can say the rhythm, pick the guitar back up. But there are also a couple of other possible root causes. The second most likely is that your technique is getting in the way. So if, for example, you can put down the guitar and you know exactly what the rhythmic structure is, you can say the rhythm along with the metronome, and it's right and you know it's right, but when you pick up the guitar again, it's hard. You probably have some issues with either your picking hand, your fretting hand, or both in being able to take your fingers and do what your brain and your ears are telling them to do. And in that case, you may want to take a look in the physical problems section at the lessons about decreasing tension in your fretting hand and in your picking hand. Those will help you a lot. And finally, it's also possible that you just need to shore up your understanding of basic rhythmic concepts. As we already talked about, rock and roll is pretty simple, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, over and over and over again. But if you want to play jazz, if you want to play classical music, you may want to try to find a place where you can go and learn about some of the different meters and what those mean, how they typically sound, etc. Because an understanding of those concepts will help you to hear what's going on inside the songs that are using those rhythms, 6/8, 3/4, 12/8, etc. Let's talk for just a minute about some of the benefits of good rhythm, and there are a lot. Number one is easier memorization of music. Rhythm is a great way of compartmentalizing the music that you're learning, and if you can take 12 notes or 15 or 16 notes and turn them into one rhythmic pattern that you know, you've just taken a bunch of things and turned it into only one thing that you have to memorize. It really, really helps. Second, more forward motion in your music. And that's part of what music is all about, is forward motion. If you can drive your music forward with good rhythm, it's just going to sound better. Third, other musicians are going to want to play with you. If you are a guitarist that has good rhythm, you are a commodity. And other musicians are going to want to start having you around when they're playing because you're going to be playing stuff that sounds good. The fourth is that other people are going to want to listen to you for the same reasons that other musicians are going to want to play with you. Other people are going to want to listen to what you play because it has a groove and it has forward motion and it sounds good. So your homework for this lesson is to take 2 or 3 songs that you really like and figure out some of the basic rhythmic patterns used. How do those rhythmic patterns contribute to the song? Listen to the song and just count out the beats as you go through the song. And then once you can do that, start trying to pick out some of the rhythmic patterns. And then instead of counting out just the beats, start to verbalize those rhythmic patterns as they go by. I think you'll start to notice that part of the reason that you like certain songs is because of the rhythmic groove that's going on. And it's pretty cool to figure out what that groove is because it can help you a lot in either reproducing that piece of music if you want to play a cover, or even in writing your own music, because you're going to start to understand what it is that you like to hear. Second, take a song that you're playing right now, put down the guitar, and get to the point where you can verbalize the rhythms. I guarantee that the song will sound better when you pick your guitar back up. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next time at whyisuckatguitar.com.